Welcome back to the capsON Sports Podcast. My name is Tyler Blumenstick, joined by Nick Tobias, Sam Meehan, and Anthony Mano. It is Christmas Day. We have one game today later at 4:30, the Vikings versus the Saints. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We're festive
Merry
today.
Christmas. Merry Christmas. This is a Christmas episode, so Merry Christmas.
Is it a Christmas episode, Nick? Is it?
Well, were there any games on Hanukkah?
Yeah, over
Yeah,
eight,
there were
eight
plenty of
days.
games.
I mean, that covers a full week. There's a lot of
Well,
games.
There were probably a lot of games on Hanukkah.
We probably should have had a Hanukkah episode then.
We did. We just didn't know it at the time. Whatever. Yeah, so we have a Friday game on Christmas. We're going to go through our normal Sunday night primetime, Monday night primetime, easy money, and make the case. So for this Christmas special episode, let's kick it off with Friday with the Vikings at the Saints. The line is New Orleans minus 6.5, the total at 51. What do you got?
Who's going first?
You are.
Somebody.
All right.
Spit it out, Santa. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, they call me Jolly Old Saint Nick. This is my holiday. This is my football game. Because it's my holiday, I'm gonna go a little road dog here. I'm gonna take the Minnesota Vikings plus 6.5. I think this is gonna be a shootout game, and I think Minnesota has the potential to kind of hang in there. New Orleans is I don't know what New Orleans is doing. Drew Brees had a slow start last week. Granted, he did break 11 ribs, and I don't really know how you breathe or live after breaking both of your ribs.
Did you see him stretching before the game?
No, I did not.
He was laying on his back, like flipping his legs over like this, like just torquing his back. And I was like, you broke 11 ribs? Like, I don't know how you're doing that.
I mean,
He also punctured a lung.
Exactly.
It's
So that
insane.
probably contributed to him going 0 for 5 in the first quarter and a quarter. Took him about 2 minutes in the second quarter to get a completion. Anyway, Saints are missing a lot of offensive pieces between Michael Thomas and a couple other wide receivers that don't really matter. Offensive line's pretty banged up. Their defense is doing okay. I mean, they're still good defense, but they kind of got exposed last week against arguably the best team in the league. This is kind of going to play into Minnesota, just running the shit out of the ball. Justin Jefferson's good. Adam Thielen's good. I don't really like Kirk Cousins, but it's primetime, and he performed last time I bet on primetime. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings plus 6.5 here. Skol!
I just want to run through some trends real quick with these two teams. Minnesota's 6-8 against the spread. New Orleans 7-7. On the total, against the spread on the road, Minnesota's 4-2, Nick. So I like that. Backs it up. And I'm going to actually come with you on Minnesota plus 7. New Orleans is 3-4 at home against the spread, and Minnesota's also 4-2 as an underdog or a pick, and New Orleans is 6-6 as a favorite. So I don't know. The lines match up.
I'm also on Minnesota.
Mhm.
I like it too. It's under that key number of 7. I don't think it's going to be a touchdown game. I think it's going to come down to Will Lutz kicking a 55-yard field goal to win the game. And if he does, then guess what? Minnesota covers.
Minnesota makes 0 sense. Like they're a different team every week, and I think this is going to be a good performance from Kirk Cousins, and that good. Really well, they have a lot of talent on offense, so they can maybe cause some problems for this New Orleans defense. So,
Yeah, and I think another factor is they are playing indoors, and that's where Kirk Cousins plays his best. And I don't know how his best really fares against his regular play. But indoors, Kirk Cousins, I trust more than outdoors, Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like the I got one more. Yeah, I like the under here. I think the under is a solid play. I like this, Nick. You have in our notes here the Minnesota and New Orleans like 24th and 30th in pace and time stats. If Drew Brees isn't at 100%, then New Orleans is probably 32nd, right, in the league. They're probably last, not third to last. They have trouble moving the ball all year without Michael Thomas, and they've really relied a lot on Alvin Kamara. That said, I still like New Orleans minus 6.5. I think that defense has more than enough to keep Kirk Cousins at bay. I think they're going to dare Kirk Cousins to throw the ball. I think their number one priority is going to be stop Dalvin Cook because their run defense is a little suspect. So if they can key in on Dalvin Cook and force Kirk Cousins to throw the ball, I think they have a heavy advantage there. So give me New Orleans minus 6.5 and give me the under.
It's going to be sad to see a Christmas game go under. I want to see a nice little high-flying
It would be.
I mean, the teams have the talent to send it over, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Could go
I was
under.
leaning the over too, just because of like the talent on both sides. Like we've seen Justin Jefferson kind of break out this year, and Dalvin Cook show, once again why he's one of the best running backs in the league. Kirk Cousins is a serviceable quarterback, but it's just the other side of the ball. Like the New Orleans with 11 broken ribs to Drew Brees. Like I don't know if they're going to be able to move the ball with any consistency, but that defense is going to keep it far and away. So
Yep. Okay, so that's Friday night Christmas. Let's move on to our easy money segment. Who wants to kick it off for us?
Sammy.
All right, I'll go. So week 16 now, we're starting to get into the end of the divisional races, and in the NFC East, we have two teams that are still very much alive, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, who play this weekend. And I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles minus 2.5 on the road in Dallas. So, Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. He is looking terrific, and also a lot of it's because the teams don't really have film on him, so we really don't know how to tame him, I guess. And if there's a team that's going to slow down Jalen Hurts, it is not the Dallas Cowboys. That defense is atrocious still. They just got 34 went up against them against the Nick Mullins-led San Francisco 49ers. They still won the game, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to be too much for the Dallas defense, and just a field goal on the road. And so, but I'll say both teams need to win, so we're going to have it's going to be a battle. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think Jalen Hurts is going to be just too much for Dallas, and Philly will do enough defensively to slow down Andy Dalton and all them. I'm not sure what the deal with Zeke is, if he's going to play or not, or whether he was hurt or not. I really didn't even look into that. But
Tony Pollard might be better this year.
He looked really good. I
he
could
is
see
really good.
I could see the overhitting in that game as well. But the easy money is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles minus 2.5.
I like that a lot.
I love that Philly pick, and I think everybody has seen the kind of putting Jalen Hurts in that offense, the injection of life, and it feels like they want to go out there and play for their quarterback as opposed to Carson Wentz. Their defense isn't terrible. They have a good defensive line, so they can at least pressure the passer and stop the run where need be. And I think Ezekiel Elliott's, if anything, he's going to be limited if he does play. Tony Pollard has done a serviceable job in the meantime, but it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, especially. Both defenses are porous in the secondary. But I think Jalen Hurts' ability to do with his legs is really going to give the Eagles the edge in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the total set at an even 50, so I could definitely see that going over.
Jalen Hurts is reminding me a little bit of Kyler Murray kind of last year when he first started, and kind of his skill set. They're very similar. They're playing very similar. Just kind of, he's
a lot bigger and stronger.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Jalen Hurts, and this might be a weird comparison, I feel like he's more of a hybrid between like Kyler Murray with the speed and the ability on the ground and the scrappy quarterback play, and the body of like Cam Newton. I feel like
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Very solid comparison. And that Philly defense is going to be able to slow down whether it's Zeke or Pollard or whoever's back there, and just put Andy Dalton in a position where he has to throw the football. He's got the weapons with Cooper Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. But
see if Darius Slay shows up finally.
Well, even you talk about the Eagles are starting to get healthy. I mean, you got Alshon Jeffrey back, even though he's been, a non-factor. You have Zach Ertz second week off the IR. He's going to be more healthy, more involved in the game plan. Dallas Goedert, Jalen Reagor, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott. I mean, the offense is there. It's just where, and is it going to show up?
It's a good point. All right, let's move on. Who's next? Nick, you want to go?
I can.
Yeah.
I can take. Sorry, no, go ahead. I was going to keep it in the NFC East, but
keep it in the NFC East. Go ahead.
Oh boy.
The New York Giants are playing the Baltimore Ravens this week.
Don't you do it.
I'm not, because I don't bet on my teams, but I will take the under in this game. I believe it's set at 40. I'm trying to find it in our notes.
Probably like
help me out here.
42.
43 like 44, I think. 44 or 45. Yeah, it's going down, I think. It opened up at 45.
Oh, there it
Yeah.
is. There it is.
Yep.
I got it. Yep. So 43.5, right? The Giants can't score, right? The Giants can't play offensive football. I don't think they have the talent on that side of to move against a very talented Baltimore defense. And I think on the other side of the football, I think the Giants defense is what we've seen from them this year is a very solid unit, is capable of throwing a lot of different disguise coverages in there. And I think they're going to make Lamar Jackson work. And we've seen Lamar Jackson kind of struggle this year on an offensive side of the ball. So I think two struggling offenses, especially with the Giants being like probably the second worst offense behind the Jets. I think this is an easy under. If Daniel Jones is hobbled, it's even easier. If it's Colt McCoy playing, it's basically one and the same, I think, to me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, give me the Giants and Ravens under. I think it's fairly easy. Lock it in, easy money.
Yeah, I'm looking at Baltimore's last set of games. I don't know, I got like 10 of their past 10 games here. They've put up 40 against Jacksonville, 47 against Cleveland. Cleveland gets in shootouts, 34 against Dallas, bad defense. And then when you look at a team like Pittsburgh, who's well coached and has good defense, they score 14 points. Then they score 24 against Tennessee, who's kind of an average defense but well coached, 17 against New England, 24 against Indy, 24 against Pittsburgh, 28 against Philly, who's also a solid defense, middle of the pack. So I guess the point being here is they put up points against bad defenses like you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they go against a unit that actually plays as a team and really shows like they know how to play defense in the first place, they do tend to struggle, and Lamar Jackson's weaknesses show. So I do like that pick.
Mm-hmm. Well, right, like I said, like the Giants can't move the football in the first place. So even if Baltimore comes out here and puts 40 points on the Giants in the first place, I'm still feeling pretty safe with that because I don't know if the Giants can get more than like a 45-yard field goal against this team. I really do not know.
Yeah, I mean,
especially if it's a hobbled Daniel Jones.
And that's in Mano's 100% right. Where you look at I look at this game the kind of the same way the Giants played last week against the Browns, and the Giants couldn't get anything done.
Yeah, well, they said field goals aren't going to win the game anyway, so they just went for it on like almost every fourth down. It's like it's going to be one and the same.
And you know the Browns defense is no Baltimore defense, and the Browns only put up 20. And I mean, even if the Ravens put up 30 this week, I don't see the Giants scoring more than 10 points.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of embarrassing, but it's
my scare here is defensive touchdowns. Like if Colt McCoy or Daniel Jones like puts the ball on the ground or puts the ball in the defender's hands and they just take it back for 6.
Going the other way too, like
exactly. Or even if they don't take it back for 6, if they force a punt and it's on like the 7-yard line or something like that, and they got to punt again and they're on like they get the ball on the 50 or something, crap like that. Like it just doesn't play into the Giants' hands. It doesn't play into their strengths because I don't think they really have any strengths on offense. So,
and I guess to that point,
Gallman.
if I were to bet on a spread here, I would definitely have to take Baltimore minus 10.5 because I don't think the Giants score any points.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess I'll go next to my easy money. I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals minus 5.5 at home on Saturday against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the San Francisco 49ers, the past 2 weeks, have been playing in the Cardinals Stadium. In both games where they've played in Arizona, they've lost. I don't know if that means anything, but they're about to lose 3 straight. San Fran is on a downward, huh? Oh,
I just said,
who's the home team?
They're going to win 3 straight.
The home team is technically Arizona, but I don't think San Fran cares about this season anymore. They're missing a lot of key offensive pieces. They're not going to get Jimmy G back this week. There's a possibility you're going to get George Kittle, but I don't even know what's the point of putting him in at this point. Raheem Mostert's out. Deebo Samuel's out. So their offense is reduced to C.J. Beathard and Jeff Wilson Jr. and Brandon Ayuk. And that's not the best. So I like Arizona here. They're slowly crawling back into playoff contention with wins against the Giants and the Eagles, which, I mean, aren't really 2 impressive wins, but the 2 wins nonetheless. This is the chance for the Arizona Cardinals to kind of put themselves back in position to make a run for the wild card. In a touchdown at home or under a touchdown, 5.5, you have DeAndre Hopkins, Kenyon Drake, Larry Fitz, Christian Kirk. I mean, you can go down the line, and granted, Arizona's defense has been spotty all season. They don't really have to worry about containing any weapons on the San Francisco offensive side of the football. Shanahan also announced at the start of the month that the team wasn't going to practice on Christmas because he wants to spend time with their family. So who knows if Shanahan even wants to play this game. I think the Niners are done. I don't know if they want to play anymore. Give me the Arizona Cardinals -5.5 at home on Saturday. Yeah.
No
Are
argument
they
for me there.
starting? Are they starting Beathard like for sure?
Yes.
Or are they starting Josh
Yes,
Rosen?
they are.
Oh,
They
that's a
are
shame.
starting. They are starting CJ. They signed Josh Rosen off of the Tampa
Bucks.
Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
the
Tampa Bay
Tampa Bay
practice squad. Because Nick Mullins is now on the IR. There's the first and second string quarterbacks are on the IR, starting CJ Beathard. You have Josh Rosen. Like, what's going on? And I don't know what's
I
going
want
on.
to see
in San
Josh
Fran.
Rosen play,
So do I.
like low key. It's a revenge game, first of all, if Josh Rosen were to play.
Josh Rosen revenge game.
Yeah,
Book it.
but the Kyle Shanahan offense is built in a way that is so heavy on play action, and that scheme itself, like running heavy play action, kind of hides the quarterback in the first place. So I just want to see if Josh Rosen can play in a play action system, because then I think that would solidify that like anybody and their mother can play in a play action scheme, right? And be a decent quarterback. But we'll let that theory live on until Josh Rosen starts under Shanahan. Moving on.
All right.
Nicky.
Anybody
I
have
like the
anything
pick
else
too,
on
by
that,
the
or
way.
you want me to go with mine?
Oh, thank you.
Good.
All good.
Hit it, stick. Put it
Easy
in.
money of the week is going to be the Indianapolis Colts -1.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. We, as a group, have picked the Colts, a decent
time.
amount the past month, I would say. Maybe even date it back
Past
2
the
months.
past
They
2
are
weeks.
a wagon.
Yeah, they're a wagon.
We're at least on 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
At least, yes.
Look, these two teams are trending in complete opposite directions. Indy's won 3 straight. Pittsburgh's lost 3 straight. 2 of those losses for the Steelers come against the Bengals and Washington. And, I mean, that's just bad. I mean, the Buffalo loss, I mean, under normal circumstances, I probably would say isn't like something to bat an eye about. But probably since they didn't get on track against the Bengals and they did drop that game, they showed a little bit of life late, but they didn't really make anything of it. I just really think Indy's a much more complete team. There's something up with Pittsburgh, whether it's Tomlin, Big Ben, a relationship somewhere, multiple relationships coming together, and them not being able to win a football game or move the football on offense. Their run game is non-existent. Give me the Colts. They're going to handle Pittsburgh even. They're 5-2 straight up on the road. They're 5-2 against the spread on the road. Give me the Colts.
Listen, I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, but I think the problem is Ben Roethlisberger.
It is.
He doesn't have knees anymore. He can't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field. And I think I think it's time for Pittsburgh to move on from him, but they don't have anybody to really slot in there. Like you said, no running game, even if you have Connor. The defense is good, yes, but when your offense is dropping passes left and right and you can't score more than 20 points in the last 4 games, it's your quarterback. And I know Ben Roethlisberger says he has to play better, but you're playing another solid defense this week, with the Indianapolis Colts, who are on a roll, and I like them. I love the Indianapolis Colts. I like Phil Rivers. I like their offense. Jonathan Taylor, T.Y. Hilton's come out. They have Pittman Jr. Give me the Colts, man. Give me the Colts.
Love the Colts.
All right, you guys want to move on to make the case?
Let's do it.
Who wants to kick it off? Nick?
All right.
Nick.
So we talked a lot about NFC East teams this week. We talked about we talked about 3 of the 4, and I'm going to talk about the 4th team. I'm going to go the Washington football team -1.5 at home against the Carolina Panthers. Ron Rivera is in a revenge game this week. He's playing against his former team, and that's one of the storylines. Another storyline for the Washington football team is there's probably going to be no Alex Smith, which means Dwayne Haskins is going to play. Now,
But what about the strip club incident?
he's
With
still
the COVID
playing.
protocol. He's cleared to
still-
play.
I think he's still playing.
Okay.
They took away his captain badge, which
Fine.
is pretty disrespectful.
That is pretty disrespectful.
But he deserved it for being kind of a head ass. But that's besides the point. My whole
Not
thing
acting
here,
captainly.
yes, former captain Dwayne Haskins. Listen, I don't think it makes too much of a difference who's a quarterback here, because their offense has kind of been stagnant the past 3-4 weeks. So I don't really think the quarterback play matters. I think it's more so the defense that is a huge factor. And once you stop the Carolina Panthers from passing the ball, what else are they going to do? Yes, they have Mike Davis, but Mike Davis is no Christian McCaffrey. Teddy Bridgewater is not a franchise quarterback. I've been saying it my whole entire life, and I'm going to say it till the day I die. He's a decent quarterback. He's a serviceable quarterback, but I don't think he's going to play well against this good defense. I like Washington at home here. They're really trying to make a playoff push. Their season matters. This game matters more than Carolina's game matters. Give me Ron Rivera in a revenge game and Washington football team's defense.
I just want to make a quick note going off of that. Alex Smith and Antonio Gibson, possible. They're making strides towards returning as of 9:30 this morning. So,
all right. Well, there you go.
If there's one thing to say about Teddy Bridgewater is that he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when it comes to covering. So, but I still like Washington now. Despite his like 80% cover rate, you got to go Washington here.
Teddy covers.
Teddy covers.
Listen,
Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves he'll be a machine. He is a covering machine, but when you have no one to throw the ball to, how you get a cover? Or you can't get the ball out of your hand fast enough. Listen, that Washington defense only gave up 5. Or no, how many? They held Seattle 7 points in the second half last week, which is pretty astounding. I mean, great to the Giants. I think did the Giants do something similar to that? Probably.
The Giants held the Seahawks to 0 points the second half, I think,
yeah.
or something like 3 or something.
Giants have good defense too, but that's besides the point. Washington football team -1.5 at home. Done.
Sammy.
All right, so this pick is going to sound a little crazy just because of what we saw last week, but I'm going to go with the Rams +1 against Seattle this week.
Okay.
So, is that what you're going to take?
Yeah, I wanted it.
So
it's fine. I'm with you though. So let's
like
play the
that,
hits, Sam.
Last week's loss to the Jets was the definition of a trap game, look ahead game to, you got a huge game against your division rival the next week. You're like, oh, we'll just run over the Jets. But like, despite they're over their team yet, but they're still professionals, and like they can still play the game. And if you go into the game with sleep, you're gonna get your ass kicked, and that's just what happened. So you don't think they're gonna fire under their ass this week, and they're going to come out pissed off, and I think they're going to have a huge performance, especially defensively, against the high-powered Seattle offense. And again, Seattle still struggles defensively. Obviously, they've had 2 good weeks, but they played the Jets and the football team, who neither of which offensively are very explosive. The Rams have the potential to be, that high-powered offense, but they can get a little stagnant at times. But I see a big game this week, a big bounce-back game. So they win this week, and they take control of the NFC West. So, yeah, it might be crazy to bet on a team that just lost to the Jets, but we're going to do it.
I think it's a big time. It was a big time blip on the radar for the Rams, right? I don't know if obviously, like, we're not there. You could say, like, they were looking ahead to whatever. They underestimated the Jets, whatever. I think they ran out of time, right? I think if they had another 10 minutes to play, I think they would have won by like they would have at least won. They wouldn't have covered because I think that spread was 17 or some shit. But
yeah, and I took that.
They would have won 17.5, right? But I think they would have won. But what happened, and they lost. These two teams have played each other already, the Rams and the Seahawks. The Rams won 23-16 last time out in LA. And that was when Russell Wilson was pretty much
when he was backpacking
the MVP conversation. The letting Russ cook effort has really took off, and now it's I don't know if it's kind of sputtering right now, because obviously Russell Wilson is still like a top tier quarterback, but it feels like the pieces around them aren't playing up to that level as they were the first few weeks of the season. I think this Rams team is better. I've maintained that this Rams team is the best in the NFC West. I think their defense is pissed off for losing about the Jets. I don't think they're going to make the same mistake twice and lose, twice. But I just think the Rams are a better team here than the Seahawks. So give me the Rams and a pick 'em. If they didn't lose to the Jets, I think this is probably like a 5-4. It's probably Rams -4.
It is in Seattle's, but I would say, probably like they would be favored, I think, by at least like a point or two.
Right. Well, this opened at +2, so even, that's why I kind of thought it would.
So it's trending towards the Rams.
I think the reason why when Seattle played Arizona on that Thursday night game, where Seattle coughed it up, and that's when Russ started doing too much with his legs and forcing things. And I think this is another game where he tries to do too much. and he's going to start forcing passes and trying to make plays that aren't there. And you talk about a loss, like you guys said, with the loss, pissed off Los Angeles Rams defense, who just got blown up by the New York Football Jets. Yes, they're going to expose the Seattle offense, and yes, they will expose the Seattle defense. I like the Los Angeles Rams here too. I was thinking about leaning Seattle, but I think the Rams are a smart pick here, and Sean McVay is a good coach, and clearly the Rams have the talent on both sides of the football, as opposed to Seattle, who only has really the talent on one side, and their offensive line is lacking. And I mean, it can go left and right with storylines, but I like the Los Angeles Rams uniform also. If the Seattle Seahawks are wearing the green, I'd be kind of nervous. That is my only point.
It's a fair point.
All right. I will close out our make the case with Miami -3 on the road at Las Vegas. Miami's 11-3 against the spread this year. Vegas 7-7. Miami has covered their last 4. Won 3 of them, lost to Kansas City, but they still covered the spread. It was 7 that game. Vegas, the opposite, 0-4 in their last 4 against the spread. Losing 3 out of 4. The only win there, the lowly Jets, who just beat the Rams, which is wild. So I don't know, whatever the logic checks out, if you want to like snake the win versus loss to get to like which team is better, you know what I'm talking about?
Hey, you guys.
Oh yeah, well by that logic,
So what is it?
the Jets are better than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You make a very compelling argument.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, this is just basically the Raiders can't stop anybody. Miami keeps finding ways to win. Brian Flores is on steroids, but he's like quietly on steroids. Like that guy is quietly one of the best.
Whoa!
coaches.
With the
I'm not saying physical,
accusation.
like mental steroids, game planning steroids. He doesn't cause a big stink, but he just gets guys to do their job. He puts a good game plan together. He beat kind of his old boss by 10 last week and covered the spread. Give me Miami. I think they'll find a way to do it. It's only a field goal.
The only thing that kind of scares me about Las Vegas is how good Marcus Mariota did look last week.
Come on. You're telling me Marcus Mariota's been on an NFL bench for how many freaking seasons now? And he comes in, he plays one game, and you're not going to take the Miami Dolphins against them?
I'm not. Listen, what I've seen out of Tua on offense hasn't been impressive, I guess I could say.
He beat the Patriots last week without any offensive weapons.
And do you know his statistics? I have to find his statistics.
I don't care. He won the game. I mean, that's
I know, and that's not the argument I'm
Team
making.
won the game.
They're
The
finding
argument
ways to
I'm
win.
making is that Tua's offense, he can't put. I don't know. Listen, Marcus Mariota is not he's been on a bench the whole year. He hasn't been active. I don't think he was on the Vegas's active roster until like a week or two ago. So I'm not really. I'm just saying, Marcus Mariota could do it with his legs. He can do it with his arm. He looked very impressive last week. He really did. And John Gruden, all John Gruden did when he was an analyst was, talk about, Marcus Mariota could do all this stuff. Look at his legs. Look at his love. So I mean, I don't know. I think Miami is by far the better team here. I do think Miami wins the football game. I just don't know what I'm going to get out of Marcus Mariota.
Just had to give me a little bit of a hard time. You're like, yeah, I agree, but here's all the reasons why if I disagreed, this is why I would disagree.
I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just trying to give, both sides of the argument here. But
I think it's important for the listeners. I think it's super important, or the viewers, depending on if you're watching on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Shameless plug right in the middle of the episode. Okay, where are we at? Are we good?
We're at Sunday night football.
Sunday night. Okay.
Who's playing Sunday night, and where are they playing?
You want to know,
Tennessee
Nick?
at Green Bay.
You really want to know? Sammy just told you. Tennessee at Green Bay. Green Bay is favored by 3. The total is at 55.5, which I really do like a side of that. Game starting at 8:20. Forecast, snow. Who wants to start it off? What do we got here?
I have no idea what I want to do here.
I really am torn in this game.
I have
All right.
absolutely no idea. I think it's going.
But I'll start off with a pick. Why not?
Yeah.
As of right now, I like the Tennessee Titans plus 3.5, just because this is going to be a big Derrick Henry game. But if in the snow in Green Bay, the Green Bay defense cannot stop anything. Cannot stop the run at all. Like you saw early in the year when the last Vikings matchup when Dalvin Cook ran all over him. Derrick Henry hitting that late season mode where he's going for 200 a week. So I think if they can control the clock and just let Derrick Henry feast, then I think they'll keep it at least close enough to I could see the Packers winning the game, but I'd do like plus 3.5, plus 4, even depending where you're looking.
Yeah.
I was in on the over for this game, and I think it's like 57 or something like that.
It's 55 and a half right now.
55, and that's the most on the slate, right? That's the highest
think
total
so.
on
I
the
believe
slate.
so, yeah.
And it's supposed to snow. I don't know. Well, let me give you cases for both, right? So the under, obviously, both these teams want to run the ball inherently. Both these teams, want to play off that run and use play action or play action into the run, whatever situation they see fit, right? Both these defense and obviously like running the ball in the snow, the clock's going to wind down. I don't know if there's going to be much scoring, if that's the only thing they can do, just run the ball. But on the other side, I look at these defenses and they don't inspire me that much. The Green Bay run defense has been torn apart by the likes of Dalvin Cook, some of the other better running backs in the league, and now they're getting Derrick Henry. And on the other side, Tennessee isn't that good either. So it could go over under. I think I like the over. I think after talking it out a little bit, I think I like the over in this game.
Yeah, I'll watch the forecast like come Sunday, like if anything changes. So before I take that, but I definitely could see it over because even like the Green Bay can run it too. Like Aaron Jones is, he's no slouch at running back. So even if it is a run heavy game, and Aaron Rodgers, I think he can play in the snow. He'll be fine, unless it's like a literal like nor'easter, and it's like you can barely see the field, but. If it's some flurries, Rodgers will have no problems.
I'm going to drive this over pick. Sorry, go ahead,
you like the over too, right? Yeah, no.
I do.
I'm on the over
too. I'm just looking at it. I like it. I don't think the snow plays that much of a difference. If it's an absolute nor'easter, then yeah, obviously it's going to play a little bit of a difference, but the line's going to adjust. But if it's just flurries, like if this is close going all the way down, I trust Aaron Rodgers to make that final throw, like that deep ball to Alan Lazard, like
I like Green Bay
to put them up over 7 or something, to put them up 7, and all they're going to do is cover 3.5.
They just got to cover 3.
I like Green Bay.
I think I'm on Green Bay now. I switched.
I like Green Bay because even if this is close, you trust Aaron Rodgers to get that deep ball over the middle.
Yeah, like that.
That's somebody.
It's going to be close.
Even if it's snowing and you can't see, if somebody's wearing the white jerseys, you can't see.
All right. So you guys talk about total, and I want to talk about Green Bay before anybody else snaked it in there, but Mayo took it from me. I'm on Green Bay -3 here. I think it's kind of an easier pick than most people think. You highlighted how both defenses are bad and both defenses aren't good. Offensive-wise, do I trust Ryan Tannehill or do I trust Aaron Rodgers in the snow or not the snow? I'm taking Aaron Rodgers all day, every day. Like you said, you're going to find Aaron Rodgers is going to find Marquez Valdez-Scantling 60 yards down the field out of nowhere at the most random time, and it's going to I don't believe that Ryan Tannehill can get the job done if he has to get the job done. When crunch time hits, it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't even care if it's snowing. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers know how to play in the cold. Right now it's 2 degrees in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I think they're kind of faring up pretty well for this matchup. They know what they're going to get themselves into. Aaron Rodgers is a monster. They're playing home at Lambeau Field, and they're only getting 3 points. I'm taking Green Bay -3. I don't care what the weather conditions are. I don't care who runs the football. I don't care how many rushing yards Derrick Henry has. Derrick Henry can rush for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, but I could still think Aaron Rodgers can put up at least 3 or 4 through the air, and they could score 1 or 2 on the ground with Aaron Jones. Give me Aaron Rodgers here. Give me the Green Bay Packers -3.
All right, I'm just going to drive this over pick home real quick. Tennessee, I'm guilty of this as well. We do it often. When we talk about betting the under and the Tennessee Titans are involved, we say they're going to run the ball, it's going to drain the clock. But there was one team at the top of the NFL in points scored in 2020, even on top of the KC Chiefs, and that team is the Tennessee Titans. They both have 31.1 points per game. However, the Tennessee Titans take the cake when you push it to that second decimal point. So they're actually the PPG leaders.
That's important.
Green Bay is third with 31 points a game, so they're down by a tenth of a point per game. But look, I think this is going to go over. Tennessee runs the ball, but they run it effectively. So that doesn't really keep games under. Same thing with Green Bay. You have Aaron Rodgers and you have Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams and A.J. Dillon in that backfield that really push the ball. I mean, look, it's going to go over, and I wanted Tennessee, but I'm not going to really play the spread here. And if I had to, gun to my head, I'm going Green Bay. So
Yes, sir, you are. It makes a difference. Jamal Williams probably isn't going to play. He hasn't practiced all week. But even A.J. Dillon, I saw him on the field, I think, for one of the first times last week. And if you haven't seen him, he's a tank.
He's a big guy.
It's a bowling
Huge.
ball.
He's
Bowling
huge,
ball.
okay? Put him out there in the snow, and he's going to bowl over people, too.
Good luck tackling that.
all right, Nick, I'll tell Matt LaFleur to put his third-string running back out there in the snow just because he'll look like a rock.
Who's Derrick Henry?
They drafted him in the
going
second
to
round. It's not my
stiff-arm
fault.
into the ground today or Sunday night?
Who's what?
Who's Derrick
It is
Henry
a
going to
stiff
stiff arm
arm.
through the crust of the earth on Sunday night?
I don't know.
Jair Alexander.
Yes.
not.
That would be interesting.
5'9" corner for the Green Bay Packers. Jair Alexander, very willing tackler, very aggressive, one of the best corners in the league, even at 5'9", coming out of Louisville. It's like his fourth year in the league. He don't stand a chance. He does not
All right.
stand a chance.
What's next?
Monday night, the Buffalo Bills visiting the New England Patriots. The line opened at Buffalo -4.5. It's now at Buffalo -7, and I'm upset I didn't get it at 4.5 because I'm going to take Buffalo -7. The Patriots just don't excite me. I'm such a Patriots hater this year. I'm done with the allure. I've said it. I'm not going to beat the dead horse. The Patriots are not a good team. They put up 12 points against Miami. I don't like Cam Newton. I don't mind him as a person. I don't mind his what he does in the media and his outfits and all that. I'm not a hater in that sense. I don't think he's a very good quarterback anymore. I think his time's done. This is it. Give me Buffalo to blow out the Patriots, even in Foxborough.
I think Nick and I are on the same side.
B word?
B. The B.
We cannot use that word on this podcast because it never works out.
And because
I'm
Stick
doing it.
alluded to that, I'm going to take the New England Patriots +7. Thanks for leaving the door open for me,
The
Stick.
Dolphins beat him by 10, and the Bills are a better team than the Dolphins. Just saying.
The Bills
Not
are better than
defensively.
the
They're built different. They're structured differently, for sure.
This is when you talk about division games, you're never sure what you're going to get out of both of these teams. Listen, I remember last week when it was Tampa Bay against Atlanta. Atlanta was up 20-something points again, and they blew it. I mean, you never know what you're going to get in division games. Bill Belichick knows what he's doing, and he's arguably one of the best coaches of all time. This is strictly a pick because I don't think the Buffalo Bills. I think they win the football game. I think they just make this a little interesting. Give me the New England Patriots +7 at home in Foxborough.
Crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo's coming off like the game where they just clinched the AFC East. You know, I could see him definitely coming out maybe a little sluggish, kind of like, oh, we already got the division in the bag. We don't really have to come out firing. But, yeah, I think Belichick will have a good game plan set in place to at least slow him down enough to keep it within a touchdown. So, yeah, Patriots +7.
Yes, sir, Sammy.
Drive us home, Mano.
These two teams played in Week 8. The Bills won 24-21.
And it would have been, I mean,
And it was
if Cam Newton doesn't fumble
Yeah.
on the final drive, that's going to overtime.
It was a very even game. Just looking at the stats now, and that's kind of why I wanted to look at the stats from the last game before I made the pick. I like the rationale on both sides. I just think Buffalo's a better football team right now. Give me Buffalo. I like them at that 4.5 number a lot more than I like them at 7. But
Yeah, if
give
it were
me Bills
4
minus
still,
7.
I'd like
Yep.
Buffalo. I think it's going to be right in that little window between 4 and 7. So
You're giving too much wiggle room to Bill Belichick there. And granted, their team has got holes left and right, and Julian Edelman's probably not going to play for the rest of the year. But the Buffalo Bills defense isn't that good. I mean, they're not that good.
they are looking better as of late. They're getting
They're
healthier,
good enough.
but
They don't have anyone to defend. New England can't move the ball. Who do they have to defend?
I don't know.
Jacoby
They gave up
Myers?
21 points to them last time they played. What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't care.
God,
We'll
dude,
see.
come
We'll see
on.
on Sunday.
Nick, me and you,
Monday.
bud.
Yeah,
We
that's
got
it.
this.
Yeah, you're right. I got Sammy on my side. That's all I need.
I don't remember what game it was, but Mano and I took home the cake last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't know which one it was.
And me and Nick took the first 4 times it happened. So We'll see what happens this week.
Law of averages.
I like Buffalo.
Yeah, fair
here. So
enough.
you mentioned you have to score. The way they scored last time, a Nick Folk 43-yarder, Nick Folk 33-yarder, Damian Harris 22-yarder. And Damian Harris is one of the best running backs in the league, by the way. And then a 2-point conversion, and then a Cam Newton 2-yard run. So I think Josh Allen is playing the best football of his career right now, and that's after what he was doing earlier this season. So I think they're just a better. I think the Bills.
I just see a little bit of a division win hangover almost in the first half.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Yeah.
I could see Bill Belichick being like, "Oh, hey, congratulations on winning the division!" Boom, right in the face.
Yeah, bang.
Yeah.
Bang.
All right. Is
Yeah.
that it?
Yeah, I'm all jacked up.
Any
now.
final thoughts?
I'm all jacked up.
I thought you said
Giants,
Jacksonville. You said
Giants
you were
plus 10.5. That's my final thought.
I was going to take Jacksonville plus 7.5 at home
No!
against the Chicago Bears.
Stop.
But you guys don't like when I talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I
Nope.
genuinely do. I genuinely like them this week. I genuinely like the Jacksonville Jaguars this week.
You liked them last week too, and they lost by about 1,000.
And if you liked them so much this week, you would have made a pick. So
No, but you told me pre-recorded to not make a pick on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
didn't
so
say
I-
that.
I didn't know. That was me. I was not letting you pick the
wow.
Jaguars.
There you go.
Wow.
All right. So week 16 in the books. After this week, you have one more week left in playoff football. You can follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at capsON Sports. Sub to us on YouTube at capsON Sports. Search the channel, capsonsports.com. But yeah, it is Christmas morning right now. If you celebrate, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate a different holiday, Happy Holidays. And if we're not back by next Thursday is New Year's Eve. So have a Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2021.